This is Adam Ellick reporting from Lahore. Ali Azmat's a Pakistani pop star. For years, he sang about love. But as chaos in his country deepens, Mr. Azmat, like several other pop stars, has changed his tune.
The Pakistani public, who are our audience of pop music, are not really interested in those love songs anymore. It's like, if your music can't represent the times you live in, then, take a hike.
The politicized songs highlight many of Pakistan's woes, like corruption and poverty. They also condemn America for meddling in the region. But there's one topic that no musician will touch.
We are not going to get up and say that we want to talk against Taliban simply because they are probably one of the smallest problems this country has.
You heard that right. He said the Taliban is one of Pakistan's smallest problems. The Nouri brothers are among the most famous bands in Pakistan. And their view reflects the majority opinion here, including that of their young, educated fans. They're angry about one fact, that the United States has interfered in Pakistan's politics for decades.
First of all, it's the West that is against the Taliban because it's very heavily affected by it. We're not.
This view persists even after a spate of bombings in the nation's heartland, targeting civilians, urban centers, and an Islamic university for women.
When they say they don't think the Taliban's a problem, the reason is because they're convinced that we Pakistanis could never be like that, that we're peaceful people, and that it must be the Indians, the Americans, the Israelis who are up to it. If that's being mimicked by pop stars, that's a significant problem because it's reinforcing the wrong view.
As the United States bids for the hearts and minds in Pakistan, pop culture is blaming America for everything from torturing Muslims to drone attacks on Pakistani soil.
Music does matter in Pakistan. There's a lot of youth. We're a very young country. There's a young generation out there that look up to these people. And if these people had a concrete step or concrete things to say, it would make a difference.
Clash and Folk.
Ali Azmat's latest music video, Kalashnifolk, emits a stream of anti-Western conspiracy theories.
And we know for a fact that all this turbulation in Pakistan, it's not us, it's an outside hand.
You see, there you go. You talk to a musician over here and you say, what's the problem? He won't come up with a fantastic, insightful answer for you. He'll come up with the most rhetorical, most cliched crap.
Nadeem Paracha is a cultural critic who's outraged that no one's singing out against the Taliban.
But at least address the school issue. Why are you destroying schools? What has that got to do with America or Zionism, But nobody's even talked about it.
Would you ever sing a song about how 200 girls' schools were blown up?
Well, and you cannot blame Taliban for that. Where do you think those fundings are coming from? It's the agenda of the newcons is to de-Islamize Pakistan. Religion must be killed.
Even those who sing about terrorism are taking an indirect approach. This special hit is a collaboration of Pakistan's top musicians. The song's mission is to condemn terrorism, but the lyrics don't mention the words Taliban or terrorism. There's another big reason why musicians haven't condemned terrorism: fear.
So if we start talking about the Taliban, it's very easy for them to get rid of us.
So far, no musician has been targeted. Other groups, like journalists and playwrights, continue to speak out forcefully.
We are at war. ये पाकिस्तान के दुश्मन हैं, ये मुसलमानों के दुश्मन हैं, तालिबान, बैतुल्लाह, कोई भी हो.
Even moderate Islamic clergy, like this man who was later killed, boldly condemned the Taliban.
Even the army in the end is out there fighting. The most controversial institution or most conservative institution in Pakistan, the army, who was once upon a time accused, and rightly so, of creating these monsters, are now trying to sort of kill them. So why can't a musician like, let's say, Ali Azmat, who calls himself so radical, or any other worthwhile underground band can come out and do it? What's the fear?
Underground bands like Coven would seem to be likely candidates for writing about the Taliban. They aren't as high profile, and two of the band members were educated in the States. But even they don't sing about the militants.
I think it's the biggest stars who should actually start saying something. I mean, you know, we're an alternative band or whatever.
It depends on if they feel strongly about those issues. I mean,
of course they do, man. I mean, we know them personally, and they do feel strongly about them.
Maybe they don't want to write songs like that.
Their latest album, Ready to Die, explains how Pakistan's succumbing to American interests. Shehzad Roy is a pop icon. His lyrics aren't about the Taliban, but he's the one singer who dared to take on another taboo in Pakistan, religion. In his hit song Legare, Mr. Roy is riding a public bus. The bus crash is a metaphor for tension in Pakistan. A pedestrian is hit by the bus.
I said, that guy is dying, man, let's help him. So no, we'll leave everything up to God.
That's very risky for this country, because he's basically taking on fatalism, predeterminism, and pointing out a very, very strong finger at the religious forces in this country.
The song was banned. Mr. Roy received death threats and lost several sponsors. So in his next album, he reverted to a safer and more familiar topic.
I'm allergic to bullshit.
He ended up doing what any, let's say, a patriotic, conservative Islamist apologist would do, and that is condemn the drone attacks, the US drone attacks.
It looks like everything's going according to plan.
लेकिन पहले कपड़े बदलूंगा और